So let's start out sitting. So find your sit bones wherever they happen to be. And give yourself a little bit of a wiggle and move around. So do what works for you. Maybe this is the first time you've been sitting in Sukhasana today. So roll back, roll forward, have a little bit of a stretch. Find your comfort in this posture, because we're going to sit here for a moment, as we do usually when we start. So we need to be comfortable and be able to relax into the posture, so we can focus on our breath, we can focus what's going on in our heads before we put that aside, and then we come back to focusing on what's going on with our bodies during our practice and our breath at the same time. So find your comfort. Don't settle for, oh, we're not going to be here long, I don't need to make the effort. So make the effort. I think quite often we don't make enough effort for ourselves. We'll go to the effort of getting out the nice plates or the nice mug, or taking extra time to make something delicious if somebody's coming around. Well, we should be doing those things for ourselves all the time. Why not? So a little bit of a roll with the shoulders, and start to put everything away from you. I think of it as sort of taking your focus into soft focus on the outside and bringing your attention into sharper focus as you get closer and closer and closer to you. So everything else fades away. Everything outside your room fades away. Everything outside your home, definitely. No view on that at the moment. And bring your attention to just a circle around you. During your practice, at any point, you can close your eyes if you feel you have balance. Maybe not in tree, that takes quite some building up to, although give it a go, it's very good for you. But while you are comfortable, close your eyes. So let's do that right now. And let's start taking some lovely deep breaths in and out. So drawing that breath in slowly, like a river or a stream, perhaps, stream of air flowing in and taking up as much space as you can. So expanding your lungs fully, letting your rib cage flare out, lifting your shoulders gently and in a relaxed way so that you can lengthen through the sides of your body as well. And relaxing your belly completely. So as you breathe in and you really fill up your chest with air, you start to feel that pull on your diaphragm and that expansion down. And it'll feel like you're breathing right down into the bottom of your belly. And breathing into the backs of your shoulders, into your collarbones, into your neck and throat. And then let's talk about the exhale. As you exhale, really letting go. And breathing out through your mouth. Until you are completely on empty there. And while you're empty, just pause for a moment. As long as you comfortably can, without feeling any strange effects of it. So not till you're feeling dizzy or feeling odd. Just pause with an empty chest, empty lungs. And when you're ready to breathe in again. And make each breath slow. Make each breath as steady as you can. So if you find that you're taking gulps of air in, or you have a sort of jagged out breath, try and smooth it down. And while you carry on now with that beautiful, slow, easy, deep, full breath in and out, start to notice where you're holding any tension in your body. It might be that in this particular posture, because of what else is going on for you right now, you have some tension in your shoulders. See if you can ease it off, let go. You might feel the same in your hips and your pelvis. You'll need some core strength there to keep yourself upright. But see if you can let go of anything. Watch that you're not grabbing hold of your knees or clenching your hands, scrunching up your feet. All these different parts of us that we can squeeze and hold on. And let's take another lovely, beautiful breath in and out together. And then we will start to move. Okay, gently open your eyes. I'm going to do a little bit of a neck stretch, so chin to chest. So breathing out, dropping your chin as close to your chest as you can. So let's focus on the chin for a moment, curling round and down. Your eyes, gaze is towards your feet. And think about what's going on in your shoulders. So relax your shoulders, try and relax your arms. And feel that stretch in the muscles either side of your neck. And then moving down into your upper back, maybe even into your mid back or lower back. Still taking those lovely, deep, slow breaths. And then we're going to arch upwards, so lifting with the chin. This could be with an in-breath if that timing is right for you. And let's go all the way up. All the way up. Chin up to the ceiling, back of the head to the back, top of your back. And let's send the chin up. Huge stretch to jut your lower jaw up towards the ceiling. You'll feel that in your neck. You might feel it more in one side than the other. Just hold until it doesn't feel comfortable anymore and then release. Take a breath and then come back. Think about stretching and toning the whole of the front of your throat and neck. Think about the increased blood flow to that area. Think about growing a little bit more collagen, perhaps, a little bit of elasticity in the area. Think about moving away any cells and bits and pieces that are no longer needed that need to go and be cleared out. And release, come back. That's such an intense stretch, it can be quite uncomfortable. Let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Watch that you're sitting up nice and tall, so keeping that spine long. We might not get that much of movement here, but we can intensify that stretch by reaching out the left hand. If you're over right ear to right shoulder, reach out your left hand and just take the fingertips away. Does that intensify things a little? Still remembering to breathe. And then just bring your hand back and then move your head. Arm first, then head. I think I was leaning over. Let's go straight over to the other side. Try and keep upright. Try and relax your shoulders. And then again, if you wish to, you can press the right fingertips away from you, lengthening your right arm. And when we do these stretches in the neck, they can feel quite intense, but they can also feel extremely lovely and relaxing and beneficial. So enjoy those feelings. And then coming back to center. Lovely. Let's take the legs out in front. sideways. So take your legs out in front of you and let's lengthen the legs. So take your heels away. So make your left leg longer from your sit bone to your heel. And then let's do the same with the right. Stretch your right leg out. See if you can get as much of the backs of your legs onto your mat as possible. And then let's give them a little bit of a shake. So pressing down into your heels, lifting your knees off the mat alternately, sort of like just fluttering your legs. Fast, 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 faster. Let's get some blood flow going. There we go. And pull your toes back towards you. Nice strong pull. And stretching out on the backs of the legs. And then send your toes away. Just point them sharply away from you as you can. Sitting up lovely and tall. Think about stretching all those muscles, all that fascia, on the tendons, on the tops of your feet. Go to the point where maybe you start even cramping up and then release. All right, so we're going to lift the hands so your arms are long. Send your fingertips forward and we're going to lean back. We're just waking up the core. Lean back to as far as is comfortable for you. And then we're going to lean forward all the way so you can reach towards your toes. And then we go back again. Just waking up the midriff and forward. So like you're rowing a boat, backwards and forwards. Nice solo rowing. Allow your legs to slide across the floor if they need to. One more. And stay here. Stay folded forward. Take your hands to your feet or your ankles or your calves, wherever you're comfortable. And let's come into Paschimottanasana. So let's start with Paschimottanasana and we're going to finish as well with Paschimottanasana. So I want you to be very observant of yourself. Where are you feeling the tightness, if there is any? Where are you feeling the restriction? Where are you getting to on your forward bend here? On your forward fold even. So just observing, no judgment. Making a little mental note. So when we come back and revisit after we've been moving in lots of different asanas, will there be any difference? Or maybe there won't be. Just observing. And then coming all the way up. Bring your heels in, bring your feet together into Baddha Konasana. So we're starting out with lots of lovely seated postures today. So find the position that you feel is either the most comfortable, if that's what you need today. If that's what you need today, then honor what you need today. Or the most challenging, if that's what you need today. And you'll know what you need, so go there. If you need to challenge yourself, then you know you can lean forward to intensify the stretch across the groin, across the tops of the thighs. You can press down on your knees. Or you can hold on to your feet and pull yourself gently forward. Let's keep the back straight here. So you might feel like you want to round. At the moment, let's stay straight with the spine. And use your breath. So breathing in, taking the breath to any areas that feel like they are stopping you from moving further forward, perhaps, or moving your feet closer into your body, or moving your knees closer to the mat. Quite often when we're in Baddha Konasana, we realize that, especially in the groin, we're holding onto some muscles that we can just go, oh, I don't need to be holding onto those, just let go. You might not get a lot more range of movement there, but you will feel much more at ease because your muscles are not fighting against each other. It's a bit of a eureka moment when that happens. So folding forward as much as possible now. Come forward. And let's take 3 slow, steady, deep breaths. So bring your gaze to the floor, just in front of your feet. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, see if there's a little more movement there. Maybe you can come forward a little further. Last breath. And coming up. And then let's come into a squat together. So feet together, lift yourself away and find your squat. So let's stay in squat for a moment. It's really great for stretching out the legs. Again, noticing where you are feeling that there's a sense of ease and comfort, and where you're feeling the opposite. How is your balance today? Fantastic. So we all do squat differently depending on, we naturally go to the squat that's easiest for us. And that'll depend on which muscles are tight, it'll depend on our proportions. So let's take the knees out to the sides a little and let's all come into a nice froggy squat. So arms in between, chest in between, and knees out to the side. Taking your bottom down towards the mat, probably not going to touch the mat. And quite restricted in the chest here, so make sure that you're still taking slow, deep, easy breaths if you can. And let's walk the hands forward a little, keeping your feet flat to the floor if you can, or sending your heels towards the floor. So reaching forward and then walking the hands back again. So let's walk back. So let's take the legs a little further apart and we'll come into Malasana. So stepping each foot a little further out, stretching your arms forward and then bringing your arms around and tucking around. If you can, find your thigh and hold on to your thigh. So you need to really turn your hands around. If that doesn't work, don't worry, just take your hands behind you. So we're lean forward and then take your arms out. And if that's where works, use the tops of your arms to press against your knees. And if you can, taking the tops of your hands to face the mat and then sliding them around behind you. If that isn't going to work today, that's fine, because what we're looking for is that movement of the tops of the arms against your knees. So we're pressing back and you will feel that in your hip joints. And then let's come back, come forward, take your hands to the mat, tuck your feet in a little so that they're parallel and lift your hips up. So we're in a very, almost on our way to a downward facing dog here. So let's come into downward facing dog. So take your feet back, take your arms forward. Hold here for a moment. I'd like you to notice, if you can, any sensations in your thighs here. We had a really tight compression in the groin. So you might feel now a bit of a coolness in the tops of your thighs, in your legs, as you allow the blood to flow freely again. So here we are in our downward facing dog. So let's make it amazing. Sit bones up towards the ceiling, lifting away from your wrists, taking your chest forward towards your calves or knees or thighs. Heels moving towards the mat or pressing down into the mat. Big stretch on the backs of the calves. So any tightness in your legs, even if you're not feeling it in other parts of your legs, you need to be stretching those parts too, because Any tightness in your calves, they will lead to issues in your thigh muscles and vice versa. It's a bit like when you have hip problems, it'll result in knee and ankle problems and vice versa. So here we go. Lengthen your torso if you can. And relax your head and neck. So downward facing dog is a lovely posture for being completely relaxed in your head, neck, and jaw, and allowing blood to flow there beautifully and freely. So come up onto toes now, tiptoes, and we're going to lift the right foot back. So into our tripod here. So lift it all the way back, lift it up towards the ceiling, the right foot up, and then bring your knee all the way into your chest. We're still up on toes on the left side. Bringing your knee into your chest. Squeeze your knee into your chest. And then we're going to take that right leg back out, back up behind you, stretching it up towards the ceiling, and then bringing it all the way back beside your left foot. Come on to toes on your right, and we're going to lift the left foot back out behind you, and then up. Bend your knee, and then bring your knee and thigh into your chest. Trying to stay still with everything else. Curling in, tight. Bring that knee tight into your chest. And then take it all the way back out again. So lifting it out behind you, all the way up towards the ceiling, straight leg, and then bring it back. Knees to your mat. Release your feet, and let's come into Balasana. Oh, shoulders need that, don't they? Everything needs that. So release your arms, bring them down beside you. Have the backs of your hands on the mat. And adjust if you need to. Sometimes you come into Balasana and you think, okay, I'm in Balasana, and then you realize, no, I want to adjust. I want to be more comfortable here. And maybe you need to round your back a little more. Maybe you need to take your hips to your heels. Find your comfortable Balasana. And allow your forehead to completely rest on the mat. Lengthening through the back of the neck. And breathing in and out to the sides of your body. Resting the arms, resting the shoulders. And then looking forward, sliding your arms all the way forward, staying low. We're going to come into puppy posture. So keep your forearms on the mat. Are your elbows on the mat? Hands spread out on the mat. You're still sitting in Balasana with your chest on your knees. And we want to keep the face low. You might start with your forehead on the mat and then come to having your chin on the mat. That's fine. We're going to take the face low, and then we're going to lift the hips and slide the arms forward. But we're going to keep that connection between thighs and torso. So slide forward, leave your torso stuck to your thighs. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling, and then move your head so that your chin comes to the mat and you're looking forward. We want to melt the shoulders down into the mat. Your feet are just out behind you, tops of your feet to the mat. Taking your chest down, bottom up to the sky. And then we're going to slide all the way forward. Keep that chest low if you can. Sliding all the way forward. Coming to lie on your belly with your shoulders up your elbows in towards your chest. We're in Sphinx. So we're being a bit sphinxy now. Lifting yourself up on your forearms, hands down to the mat, palms down. And we're going to pull back. So draw your elbows back and draw your chest forward. The movement of your forearms is very little because they're stuck to the mat. So use that force, pressing into the mat, but also drawing them backwards to move your chest forward just millimeters. Your belly's on the mat and your chest is lifted. Shoulders are wide. And then come to rest in Makara. Stacking one forearm on top of the other. Bring your forehead to the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, let go. And come to a peaceful, calm state. Breathing in and out easily. Now we're going to do one more back bend here. So bringing your hands either side of your chest now. That was a short rest. So elbows up towards the ceiling. Hands pressed flat to the mat. Remember to press into your fingertips as well as the palms of your hands. And then looking up and forward. We're coming into Bhujangasana or Cobra. So start to lift yourself up. Squeeze the tops of your feet into the mat. Squeeze the calves, thighs, glutes, and then begin to engage the muscles in your back to squeeze them all tightly and lift yourself off the mat. So remember to breathe. Take some pressure into the palms of your hands now and carry that movement on. So we're turning it from a strength in the back position to a flex back bend. Bring yourself up as far as works for you. Sending your chest forward, keeping your hips nicely grounded onto your mat. Looking forward. Curling in the back where appropriate. We're going to go from a snake to a pigeon. So enjoy this last little bit of Cobra. And we're going to come back into Balasana before we move. So send your hips back. So I didn't finish that sentence before we move into pigeon. So back into Balasana. This time, if you wish, take your knees wide and bring your chest forward and down between them towards the mat. Otherwise, if you prefer, just stay where you are. Soft, easy, relaxed breathing. And then we're coming up onto all fours. So coming up onto all fours, remember wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Well done, and lovely flat back, or as much as possible. And let's breathe here for a moment. Take your feet out behind you into a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. So we are in strong arms, strong shoulders, strong core, and yet trying to find the relaxation posture. Let's hold for 5 here. Squeeze your glutes. Lift your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Take your right foot to your left hand. So we're going to come into pigeon and right knee to right hand. If that was tricky, just come into pigeon, however works for you, sinking your left leg down towards the mat, releasing that foot. So pigeon, we really want to be able to relax in pigeon. So if you are quite far off the ground with your right thigh, bring a pillow or a cushion or a bolster or a book or a block or anything that will lift you up a little, so we can completely relax into this posture. Okay, so that cushion is under my right thigh. The right leg is the one that's bent. Left leg is just stretching out behind. And left leg is not doing much, but we're getting a most terrific stretch along the front of the groin here and into the side of that thigh as well. So have you got that right thigh able to relax now? Well done. So make sure that it's able to ease and let go. So we're lifting up here. We're just looking down at the ground. Our drishti point at the moment is between our hands. And think about the tensions in the muscles in your legs. So let's concentrate on the left leg now. Anywhere that you're squeezing the muscles, see if you can let go. Ease any tension in your foot, in your calf, in your knee, and in your thigh. Let's do the same with the right leg. Ease any tensions in your right foot. Is it in the right position? Relax. How about your right ankle? Right calf, right knee, and right thigh. So now you hopefully have your legs both in as relaxed a position as possible. Relax your hips. Now you might feel at the stage that you wish to move either forward or upwards. So upwards would be taking your hand to your knee, to your foot, and arching back. You've already opened up the back in Bhujangasana, so you might feel, and in puppy, you might feel you have some good range of movement here, and that's comfortable for you. What we do want to feel is that we can relax into the hips. So if you feel in this position you're not able to relax your hips fully, then you might want to come back just to being propped up or to fold forward and bring your forehead to the mat. So try them all and try and find the one that works for you and choose that one for whatever reason. Maybe today it's that you need to ease off a little. Maybe it's because today there's already some discomfort there and you need to honor that. Or maybe today you feel that you want to try and move into the posture that pushes yourself the most. No right answers, only the right answer for you. As you breathe in and out, see if you can ease off any tension in the muscles in your legs. And then if you are in a different position, come back to where we started, just propped up, the arms straight in front of you. Now we're going to straighten out. So we take the toes down, the left toes down, take some weight into your arms and lift, come back into plank. So notice the difference in temperature between your right leg and your left leg, or any sensations. Let's just stay here for a moment to enjoy those. Sink your hips down towards the mat. And then let's come back up into that plank again and all the way into downward facing dog. So we are coming to pigeon on the left, but we are going to come into downward facing dog first, so you can have a little bit of a rest. Now in rest, but we still need to make sure that we are making the most of this lovely downward facing dog. So sit bones up towards the ceiling, stretching out the backs of your legs, keeping yourself long, keeping your shoulders wide, keeping your head and neck completely relaxed. And then let's look forward, look to your hands, come back into plank again. And we are going to bring the left foot to the right hand. Now remember, in Balasana, we relax. In downward facing dog, we relax. And you might think that in pigeon, no, we don't relax. It's very active, it's very dynamic, it's very sometimes uncomfortable. But no, we have to relax in pigeon as well. So all our postures, we find that end point that's right for us, and there we relax. So use your cushion if you need to. Take that right foot stretching back so we get that lovely stretch in the front of that right hip. And remember that your left foot can be tucked in, or it can be up towards your right hand. There's no right or wrong here. We're getting the stretch here, regardless of what happens with the front of that leg. And it might be that your knee is not happy to have that huge twist with your foot parallel, or your leg, lower leg parallel with the small end of your mat. So we are up here where we started on the other side. Take a few breaths and relax your legs. I usually start with the extended back leg first, because there's less going on there, and then move to the pigeony leg, in this case the left leg. And then cycle through and see if it's the same on this side as it was on the other side. And whether the position that you decide is the most appropriate for you for today is the same on this side as it was on the other side. If it isn't, think about why that might be and what you can do to bring greater balance. So both sides of your body are working more in harmony. One side is not pulling more than the other. Not taking on more load and then becoming stronger and stronger as the other side becomes weaker and weaker. We need to have a fully functioning, fully balanced body where both sides perform equally and take equal load and gain equal strength and flexibility. Trying to find your relaxation in this posture, trying to let go. As you breathe in and breathe out, easing in. And then looking up, bringing your hands to your knee and to your foot, looking forward. And from here, we're going to come into our plank. So tuck your toes under, take the left foot back, bring yourself into a plank. And again, just an opportunity here to quietly notice what's going on, what the sensations are and where they're different. It's an opportunity for you to notice and appreciate the work that you have just done and the effort you have put in to be here for yourself. And let's come from here into downward facing dog. So lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Stay up on toes. So tiptoe downward facing dog. And then we're going to swoop forward. Take your hips low. So feet are toes tucked under. Shoulders are wide and hips are towards the ground, but not on the ground. A strong bend in your back here. And we're going to swoop back up to downward facing dog. Use your breath. Sharp exhalation as you come back down into your down dog. And this time bring your heels to the mat. And we're going to come back down to the mat. So up on toes. Bring your knees to hang. We're not touching the mat. Just hang here for a moment. Think about your core here. And release. Bring your knees down. Release your feet. You may need to change where your hands are so that they come underneath your shoulders. Shoulders wide. And let's sink the belly down. Let's come into a couple of cat cows. So use your breath. Breathing out. As you come into your cat. Breathing in. As you come into your cow and repeat. Keep going at your own pace. Last one. Send yourself back into balasana. This time take your big toes together, send your knees out to the sides. Send your hips back and reach forward. Bring your chest down to the mat. Bring your forehead down to the mat. And let's rest here for a moment. And here we are. Our moment is over. Let's move again. Sitting up now. Come to sitting up on your heels. Knees are wide. So we've done a lot of sitting and a lot of very close to the ground asana. Let's come up and do a few standing asana before we finish. So bringing yourself up now, all the way up. Keep your head low. Easy forward bend. Hands to your mat or towards your mat. Folding forward. And slowly uncurl. So ragdoll to come up. And up to standing. Soles of my feet. Finding the ground. So let's come into Garudasana. So all the way into your left leg. Right leg crosses over. Slide that foot down and bring it to tuck around. So you'll have to bend. You'll need to find something to rest on if you're getting a bit wobbly to set yourself up. So we want those toes to poke around and hold on to your standing leg. Whoa. Gosh, I am wobbly today. Bend that standing leg. And then we take the right arm across, left arm above. And let's do the same twist with the arms. So Garudasana, tying ourselves in knots. And when you're ready, straighten your back, lift your elbows. Focus on a single point that does not move. Take the take the tongue of your tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. I can't speak for concentrating on not falling over. And release. Release your arms and release your legs. We've done a lot of work with the legs. They're already quite stretched and quite tired. So this is definitely a challenge. If you're feeling like it's a challenge, I'm with you. It really is a challenge. So find that nice flat space for the sole of your right foot now. Take a breath. We're going to take that left foot over, slide it down, tuck the toes round and bend. Bend the standing leg. That's your right leg. Lift your torso. Bring your right hand under this time. Left hand goes above. See if you can touch the palms of your hands together. And when you've got that posture, lifting your elbows. And again, focus on a single point that is unmoving to help you balance. And breathe. Lift your elbows. And I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Come all the way out. Take your legs wide. Ooh, it's a tricky little challenge. Sending your arms out. Let's come into a lovely triangle. We love triangle, Trikonasana. So take the right toes out, facing the narrow end of your mat. And then we're going to slide the shoulders over and reach down. And reach up. Sliding down that leg. I don't know why I'm standing on the carpet because it's ever so slippery. I'll come back to my mat. That's better. So try and keep your chest forward if you can. And try and stay in line. So in line means not sending your bottom out behind you, but really squeezing your glutes and bringing your hips forward so that you're all in line. And that right hand can rest, or it can just tuck against the inside edge of your extended right leg. Lovely side opening posture. Triangle is so lovely. And let's lift. So somebody's holding your left hand and they lift you up and then you come up and out. So let's just change the angle of the legs. Keep the arms up. So this time our left toes are heading out yonder. Take a deep breath. Be ready. And then let's slide and tip. Remember to breathe. Notice where the stretch is. Well done. Lovely triangles. So we're going to come out now. So somebody's holding your hand and gently lifting you up. Come all the way out. So let's take hands to hips and come into Prasarita Padottanasana because we haven't done that. So line your feet up so they're parallel with each other. Take them a little further out or a little further in, whatever's comfortable for you. Lift your chest. Take your shoulder blades wide. And on an exhale, use your hands to guide you. Tilt your hips. See if you can feel that you're sending your sit bones up towards the sky, lengthening out the backs of your legs and really stretching out those lovely long muscles that go all the way from your hips down your legs. Can you ease and fold and bring the crown of your head down towards the ground? Now take your hands to the floor in front of you or just below your head. And let's walk the legs in. So walk your legs in, walk your feet towards each other, towards your hands. And hopefully you'll end up in an easy forward bend. Coming back into a squat, bring your thighs to your chest to your thighs, easing slowly all the way down back into a squat. And then we're going to take the legs out in front. Going to inhale the arms up. And we're going to exhale and fold. So we're back into our Paschimottanasana, our west facing pose. Lengthen through the backs of your legs. Ease your hips. And fold forward as much as is comfortable for you. So with each in-breath, we extend and lengthen. And with each out-breath, folding forward. It allows us to get to the point where we feel we can't fold forward anymore. Hold there. And then as we need to breathe in, to come away from that point of push into a point of relaxation, and then fold forward again as we breathe out. And coming up now. Did you notice the difference in that Paschimottanasana and the first one? If you did, great. If you didn't, great. There's no right answers, just your right answers. So we're going to come down to lying on the mat. Now, two choices, or however you want, so 3 choices, or come into Navasana, boat pose, so you'll be balanced and holding your boat, and then easing down legs and torso at the same time, or pointing your fingers towards your toes and gently leaning back to ease back into lying on your mat. So do whatever works for you. This is a little bit of core work, so take it slowly. Do the work. Easing into lying on your mat. Bring your knees up towards the ceiling, feet flat to the floor. We're going to come into a little bit of bridge. So take your hands down towards your heels. If you press the soles of your feet into the ground and the palms of your hands into the ground, you can gently lift off the whole of your torso up towards the ceiling, and your hips up towards the ceiling as well. You might want to roll your shoulders under. And you might like to play with coming up onto toes or lifting one leg up and then the other. Just play, do what you feel like doing. And then gently back down. One vertebra at a time if you can, nice and slow. Rounding the back at the end and coming into having your back completely relaxed. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around and pull them in. Let's ease out the lower back. We've done a lot of quite intense work, so a nice rock from side to side. Give yourself a hug. Now let's come into our side twist. We haven't done a lot of twisting today. We have done some quite intense asana, so this twist will be lovely to relax and ease any muscles that are still a little bit woken up. So let's take the knees over to the side. And again, with this side twist, you can do whatever you like. If you want to cross your legs over, if you want to extend your legs out straight, whatever works. Sometimes we feel move to stretch in a particular way. We should always honor that. Try and bring your left ear as close to the mat as you can. And when you feel like you're in your most extended version of this asana that's right for you right now, ease and relax. And then coming back to neutral, to center with your head, and then skimming your knees across your chest, as close to your chest as you can, controlling all that movement with your core, bringing them over to the other side. And now bringing your right ear as close to the mat as you can, assuming that your knees are on the left, otherwise it's the opposite. Well done. Can you ease into this? Can you relax? And then bringing your head back to center, bringing your knees back to center. Take your feet up towards the ceiling. Now a little bit of a challenge here. So decide what you want to do with your hands. And we're going to take the legs down to the floor together. So I like to tuck my hands or my thumbs just under my hips. That helps me. Do what works for you. So relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and let's take the heels down to the mat. Slowly keep your knees together, ankles together, toes together, or just your big toes. A bit challenging to get all the toes together. Remember to breathe in and out. Try and keep your lower back on the mat for as long as possible. Slowly lowering. And bringing your feet down to the mat. So one last thing here before we come into Shavasana. Keeping your heels on the mat. Take your hips wide. And push your toes away. So send your toes far out away from you as you can. And then bring them back. As if you're trying to bring your toes towards your face. So stretching out the backs of your legs and then pushing your toes forward again so that they're pointing as much as possible. And then bring them back, so towards your face again. Now speed that up. You will get less range of movement in your feet, but keep your heels anchored to the floor and your whole body will move backwards and forwards. Close your eyes and feel that you're just being rocked. Allow your whole body to relax. Notice the back of your head moving on the mat. Keep going with the feet, just butterflying the feet backwards and forwards. And rest. Give yourself some space. Take your hands so that your palms face upwards, ready to receive all that lovely light and warmth and energy from the universe. Take your legs away from each other. Allow your feet to drop out or in or wherever they want to go. Try and find as much rest, ease, calm, and relaxation as you can. Close your eyes, relax your face, relax your jaw. Taking deep, steady, slow breaths in and out. Allow your chest to settle. Allow your pelvis to be heavy, completely at rest. Notice where your hands and your arms are in contact with the floor, and the same with your legs. Notice where you are lying. Notice the air around you as it touches you. Notice the temperature of the air that you're breathing in and out. Allow your body to come to complete rest. And think about 3 things about yourself that you are hugely grateful for. Just 3 things. They don't have to be the top 3 things or the best 3 things or anything like that. Just whatever comes to mind. 3 things about yourself that you're hugely grateful for. And a breath in and out. Focus on lifting your belly as you breathe in. Focus on noticing the breath as it comes in and out through your nostrils. Focus on letting go so that as you breathe out, you're completely empty. And as you breathe out, letting go of anything that you no longer need to hold on to. This time, as you breathe in, thinking about 3 things in your life that you're hugely grateful for. Again, it doesn't mean they're the only things, they're just the 3 things that came first into your mind. For whatever reason, attach no importance to that. Just give thanks and feel gratitude for having them in your life, whatever they happen to be. And as you breathe in and out, allow your eyes and the muscles around your eyes to feel soft, at ease, completely relaxed. And let that same ease and relaxation flow through your whole body, flow through your mind, and flow through your spirit. And as you breathe in and out gently and easily, keeping your eyes closed, come to rest on your right side. And gently coming up to sitting when you're ready. Keeping that space and that calm and that beautiful sense of warmth and gratitude. Bringing your hands to heart center and touching your right hand to your left, pressing them together and feeling grateful and happy and at peace for the right side and the left side, for balance, for strength, for flexibility, for being here to keep yourself full of well-being. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, still feeling that sense of ease and calm, and dip your head. Bring your forehead down towards the tips of your fingers. And on an in-breath, opening your eyes, gently raising your head, and namaste. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining you. I hope you have a gorgeous day.